So I'm usually a pretty big wuss when it comes to horror movies, but I know there's a lot of great films out there, so I'm trying to be brave and branch out and watch some of them. So today I'm watching the 1956 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I have seen the 1978 version. I usually try and watch the original before I watch any sequels or remakes or reboots, but I thought the 70s version was the original, so apologies. I'm now watching the 50s version. You can check out my reaction to the 1978 version on my channel as well. I love sci-fi, so anytime there's a sci-fi element involved, I'm curious to see what 1956 version will look like, because obviously technology would have been different in 78, and I love practical effects, so I'm definitely expecting to see some practical effects, maybe with the pods, if they have pods in this, what that's going to look like, or if the 78 version took a whole new direction with the story. From what I remember, there's these alien seeds that come from outer space, and then people start acting like zombies, basically. Like, they're slowly being replicated one by one and taking over the population. But sometimes, a later version takes different creative leaps. I have no idea if it'll be a shot-for-shot, remake, if it'll be completely different, but I'm assuming the main storyline will be the same. I really enjoyed the 1978 version. It's probably one of my favorite horror sci-fi movies that I've seen. And yeah, I'm not expecting like an edge of your seat thriller, but, kind of this paranoia, this, almost thing like, we don't know what's happening, but it's happening and everybody looks suspicious, and who do we trust and who do we not trust, situation, and especially given the time. So that's definitely more of what I'm expecting. But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, and right into it, like right to the title card, which is, pretty common for this time period. I don't recognize any of the names so far, and it's in black and white, which I wasn't expecting, but I like black and white, so that's cool.
It wasn't. Something evil had taken possession of the town.
I like this setup of it, like, telling it in past tense, where he's clearly something's wrong, like he's very upset.
She wanted to see you. Are you still interested?
My interest in married women is strictly professional, or yours would have been a lost cause long ago.
Oh, my.
Yes, he's here. Do you suppose he has time to see me a moment?
Well, if he hasn't, there's something wrong with him. Go right in.
Oh, my.
Not at all. What'll you have? We're pushing appendectomies this week.
Oh, Mud.
I don't know, maybe I clown around too much.
The banter. Oh, yeah.
I tried.
How about some lunch?
I can't. I'm eating Dad at the store.
Okay, so already an imposter. Interesting.
Hello, Doc. At it again, eh? My nurse tells me you were in last week and wanted very much to see me.
It wasn't anything important.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, I gotta see the doctor right away, and then bails at the last minute.
As bad as all that, it can't
School
be.
isn't what upsets him, it's my daughter-in-law. He's got the crazy idea she isn't his mother.
Oh, yep, another imposter.
He looks, sounds, acts, and remembers like Uncle Ira.
Then he is your Uncle Ira. Can't you see that?
Yeah, how are you gonna prove it's not the real him?
Like Uncle Ira would. But Miles, there's no emotion. None.
Yeah, he remembers everything, he's acting the same, but yeah, no emotion.
I want you to realize that. Think about it. And then you'll know that the trouble is inside you.
She's like, no, something's off, and I can tell something's off, and you're not gonna convince me.
Welcome home.
Hello, Mrs. Lance.
Did you ask Miles to stay for dinner?
Can't tonight.
I'm making spoon bread.
Please, don't tempt me.
What's spoon bread?
Nice having Becky back again, eh, boy?
Sure is.
It's hard to explain, like...
People who couldn't wait to see me, then suddenly were perfectly all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Mother was his mother, I'd seen her. And Uncle Ira was Uncle Ira. There was no doubt of that after I'd talked to him.
Miles, he is Ira.
Yeah, like physically they look the same, but yeah, someone only who knows them really well would be able to tell.
Will she be all right?
Oh, I think so. I'm a doctor according to my diploma, but I don't find out that you weren't you.
I'm not the high school kid you used to romance, so how can you tell?
You really want to know?
Hmm?
Oh my, a smooch?
Has ever since you got back.
Is this an example of your bedside manner, Doctor?
No, ma'am. That comes later.
Oh my. And the place is empty because everybody's too paranoid or too worried that the people they like aren't really the people.
What happened to the crowd tonight?
I don't know. It's been this way for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Well, at least we don't have to wait for a table.
Yeah, and he was out of town at the conference, and she was living in another country, so neither of them would have been around when this started, so...
Miles, put the light on over the pool table.
Yeah, and having him in shadow and everybody else in light, and yeah, turning the lights on, and... What is this thing? Why, is there a body on the pool table?
Who is he?
I have no idea.
Frickin' cuckoo clocks. Oh my god. Yeah, and they don't know who this person is. They just show up on the table.
Well, this sounds crazy, but if I should do an autopsy, I think I'd find every organ in perfect condition.
Like he's like newborn, but obviously is aged.
Final finished face to be stamped onto it.
But whose face? Tell me that.
Yeah, he's almost like in perfect condition.
How much does it weigh?
I don't know, it's pretty thin. Maybe 140 pounds.
Jack's 5'10" and weighs 140 pounds.
Oh god.
Teddy, will you
Oh my god. She thinks it's him.
But it isn't nonsense.
It's the same height and same weight.
Would you be willing to sit up with your strange friend and see what his next move is? If nothing happens by morning, call the police. If something...
So weird. Stay up with this body that looks like you and has the same measurements as you, and hey, if things get weird, let me know. What? Come on.
Good night. Take it easy.
Sure.
And nothing's going to happen.
Good night, babe.
There's still a body on the pool table that they're just like totally cool with.
How about a nightcap, Doc? No, thanks. Kind of late. I'll take a rain check. Good night.
Good night.
And I like the way they're using shadows, like how we had it from the stairs and darkness, yeah, and turning off the lights. And in black and white, I think it's so important to use, obviously, light and shadows, especially in horror movies, to your advantage. This thing. I would not be able to sleep a wink. Oh my god, it's opening its eyes. It's alive. If this is replacement Jack, you gotta get him out of there. And he's got the same cut on his hand that Jack did. Oh, man. Yep, it's definitely you.
Bleeding in the position of the body. Jane!
Here, take this.
It's alive! It's alive!
Hello, Danny.
Yeah?
Something's happened, and I've got to see you right away. Will you get over here as fast as you can?
And even how, like, half his face now is in light and shadow to add this, like, suspense and mystery. And I like in black and white movies when they have to find, like, an alternative light source. Usually it's a match, you know, something like that. But to, you know, illuminate these shadows, especially in horror movies, it just adds, like, an extra creepy effect. And, like, something you don't see in modern movies. Most people would grab, like, a flashlight. But just the way that the match, you know, lights his face, I think is really cool. Oh my god! Bodies are adding up. Yep.
When I put it on the table, there wasn't a scratch.
You can kill a man by shoving an ice pick into the base of his brain and leaving a puncture so small the naked eye can't see it.
Why would you think that's the choice? Like,
Body. And you heard what Teddy said about the hand.
who would let somebody... What? No.
Make any more of it.
Look, I wouldn't. If I hadn't looked in Becky's cellar. How do you explain away the body I saw there?
I don't think you saw one there.
You don't think I saw one here either?
Yeah, they don't believe him, obviously.
The body that we saw here bore an uncomfortable resemblance to Jack.
Mighty uncomfortable.
All right, let's go on to Becky's and have a look.
Yeah, and the bodies were like, there was no blemishes, they were perfect, and just like exact replicas, like we've seen.
Women and children suddenly convinced themselves that their relatives weren't their relatives at all. So your mind started playing tricks, and reality became...
He's just trying to explain it all away and rationalize it.
You saved these two characters a trip to the station. They want to report finding a body and losing it.
Yeah, they didn't contact the police at all when they saw this mysterious body.
I've just seen it on the slab in the morgue. It turned up in a burning haystack on Mike Gessner's south pasture 2 hours ago.
Oh my gosh, what? So it obviously did escape, but didn't make it, yeah.
Smell some coffee? Why don't you give me a call?
I didn't want to wake Teddy.
Oh, she's wide awake. Got a good sleep.
Good.
Is he wearing the same clothes as Miles? Oh, suspicious. She's like, oh, your house? Better close up shop.
Becky's still at his house.
And now she's like a zombie reporting things.
Driving home, I had a lot of questions and no answers. How could Jimmy and Wilma seem so normal now? Surely I had done nothing to cure them.
They've been replaced. Imposters.
Drinking purposes. You're looking shipshape.
Thank you, sir.
And this Dutch angle shot in the greenhouse. Yeah, we knew like seeds and plants were involved. Oh my god, here it is. Well, I was wondering if we would ever see it. Yeah, and they're like making sounds. This like, I wish this little bit was in color, just so I think it would be cool to see. But yeah, this like white goo oozing out of it. Oh my god. I'm so glad we finally got to see it. Yeah. Oh, it's so gooey.
This must be the way that body in my closet was formed.
Yep, here comes more. Oh my gosh.
If they are seeds or seed pods, they must grow someplace on a plant, probably. And somebody or something wants
They look so cool, though, even with like the little bubbles.
What happens to our bodies?
I don't know.
Great question.
Sorry, but I take a dim view of watching my own destruction take place.
There isn't any danger until they're completely formed. We learned that last night at your house.
Yeah, the pods.
Change right away.
Not until you fell asleep.
That's when they attack. Oh my gosh, these things are so creepy.
I'm sorry.
I felt something was wrong, but I thought it was me because I'd been away for so long. They have to be destroyed. All of them.
Oh my god, they're just foaming everywhere. It's so creepy.
Some phoning to do.
Well, I'm going to stay right here where I can watch them.
I'm going to stay with you.
And don't call the police! Nick Rivet didn't find any body on a burning haystack?
What? He was lying about it? What?
So much has been discovered in these past few years that anything is possible. Maybe the results of atomic radiation on plant life or animal life.
Okay, that's cool. Yes, that's the approach we went.
Can govern the forming of human flesh and blood out of thin air is it's fantastically powerful, beyond any comprehension.
Yeah, super creepy, but fascinating.
Well, try again. That office is open day and night. If they've taken over the telephone office, we're dead.
Yeah, they're gonna try and warn people. Oh my gosh, you have these bubbles just taking over the greenhouse entirely. Oh! And there's the person underneath. Oh my gosh, who's it gonna be this time? That's so yeah, it looks like her. The way it came out of the pod just completely formed. Oh my god, with his pitchfork. There's probably one for each of them, I'm guessing. Yep. So cool. I'm very excited to learn more about like the practical effects and how they did it, and
I'll call you back.
All right? All right, I'll wait for your call.
the phone lines are down. Yeah, you can't tell anybody. I imagine this would have been terrifying to see when it came out. Oh, and like the light coming through the slats in the greenhouse as well. Yep. There they all are. The bubbles slowly dissolving. She's gonna open her eyes. Oh god, yeah, looking in the face of someone you like know and love. But that's not them. And to see yourself also would be so creepy. Oh.
Hold on. Miles, Miss Tucker's is still busy.
Well, tell her to keep trying. Also try San Francisco and Washington.
Oh my god, yes, he's taking a pitchfork to his own body.
Still unable to get through to Los Angeles. Do you wish me to keep trying? Dr. Bennell? Dr. Bennell?
I think this phone person is in on it or something. Yeah, he's like, I gotta get out of here now. Yeah, he's like, I trust no one. Everybody I talk to is getting more and more suspicious. He's just gotta get out of here.
Well, what's the matter?
You put one of the pods in his trunk, yeah. 2 pods, one for each of them. Oh my god. Well, that's one way to get rid of them, a giant fire. Yeah, cheese and rice. Can't trust anybody. Yeah, if he's the only one reporting trouble, then they're gonna go after him, and they know his name from, you know, the phone calls and stuff.
Yes, in her playpen. No, wait. Maybe I'd better take it.
Why don't you go in, Miles? We've been waiting for you.
Oh my god, yep. Just get out of there. You should have kept going. Just handing the pod. Be like, yes, this is our baby. Run! And to see, like, your friends, like, chasing after you, being like, we've been waiting for you.
It is urgent. These 2 persons must be detained and not permitted to leave Santa Mira. Repeat.
Yeah, if they're the only 2 that are left that aren't infected, then they need to get them or their plan is foiled. Yep, like, we'll just hide the car here, okay. Oh my gosh, it's just a manhunt now. Just like the tension of them waiting and yeah, having the only light source come from this window.
We can't close our eyes all night.
We may wake up changed
To something evil and inhuman.
Yeah, and that's when they attack, like when you're most vulnerable and you're sleeping.
Yes, it is to us. How dear. As you are to me.
Oh my, such romance. Zooms in for the smooch.
Where is he? Why doesn't he come?
And to see everybody just going about their day like it's totally normal. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Oh my god, there's gonna be pods in this thing, isn't there? Or seeds, yeah, these trucks. Oh my gosh.
Farmers.
Yeah, look at all those things. Oh my god.
If you have Crescent City families, step over to truck number 1. Crescent City, the first truck.
So they can spread it to other cities. Like, oh, if your family lives over there, take these to your family. Like, they'll never suspect a thing. And it'll just keep growing and growing and growing. And how the whole town is completely affected except for these 2 is just crazy. Like, you'd be terrified.
Jack, the whole town's been taken over by the pods.
Not quite. There's still you and Becky. Miles.
Oh, he believes them now? Okay.
Sleep last night. Now relax.
Oh no, they are them. Oh no.
Remember how Teddy and I fought against it? Well, we were wrong.
You mean Teddy doesn't mind?
Of course not. She feels exactly the way I do.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're like, get the pods for them. Can't trust anybody.
Seeds came pods, which have the power to reproduce themselves in the exact likeness of any form of life.
Such a cool concept, but terrifying. Yeah, exactly.
Minds, your memories, and you're reborn into an untroubled world.
Where everyone's the same.
Yeah, and they have no problems and no worries and no pain because they're not real.
I love Becky. Tomorrow, will I feel the same?
There's no need for love.
Yeah, no pain, no love, no nothing, no emotions of any kind.
Before, it didn't last. It never does. Love, desire, ambition.
Like, we don't need these things. Let's just focus on surviving.
You're forgetting something, Miles.
What's that?
You have no choice.
Probably one of my favorite concepts for a horror movie.
Good.
Or a horror sci-fi movie. So cool.
I want to love and be loved.
Most humans do, yes.
Drugs stall the mind. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, if they need the minds to be clear when they take over, I don't know. So they're like, let's do drugs. Or destroy the pods? Yeah.
What's going on in there?
Miles! Miles! Miles!
Unlock the door!
Miles, open the door!
Open the door, Miles!
Miles!
Oh! Sneak attack. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. Oh my god. I'm assuming whatever he injected them with, yeah, will make them go to sleep. Run! Get out of there!
Our only hope is to make it to the highway.
Escape! Go, 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 go!
The only other way is out the front door, and there's bound to be somebody watching. We'll have to chance it.
I know how the 78 version ended, so I'm very curious to see how this one will end.
Keep your eyes a little wide and blank. Show no interest or excitement.
Yeah, pretend to be one of them to blend in and hope they don't know. Which would be like your heart would be racing. It would be so hard to do.
He was busy. He's calling again now.
Oh god, oh god.
I'm sorry, Miles.
They wouldn't have reacted. Yeah, I do remember a dog being involved in the 78 version as well. Now they're like, forget this, we gotta run.
Stairs.
Oh my god, there's so many stairs. And like, they can't run forever, right? Like, eventually they're gonna need to get out of there somehow. As the town literally chases after them. Terrifying. This music is so intense, I love it. Just this frantic sounds as they run through the desert. I don't know where they're gonna go though, like eventually. It's a good hiding spot, but yeah, I feel like they're gonna get caught eventually. Oh my god, hurry, 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 hurry. Terrifying, terrifying. Oh my god, my heart would be pounding. And to see everybody running, like, even if one of those boards break, like, you're in trouble. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right.
I think they're all gone now. We'd better start, or we'll never make it to the highway.
And where's that music coming from exactly? Yeah, that's the seed farm. Oh my gosh.
KCAA, the 24-hour platter parade, the station of music and...
It's a radio station. Yeah, and he got tricked. He thought it was like a person singing. Oh man. I think Becky's gonna fall asleep.
We can't make it without sleep.
Yes, we can.
Literally just laying in the mud. Oh my gosh. She's exhausted. Oh my. Oh, it's not her. Yep. Oh my gosh.
I went to sleep, Miles, and it happened.
Yep. Bye, Becky.
They were right.
I should never have left you.
Stop acting like a fool, Miles, and accept us.
Now it's just him on his own, yeah.
Never.
He's in here! He's in here! Get him!
The betrayal, the one person he could trust. Oh, Miles, you gotta run.
The other day, my only hope was to get away from Santa Mira, to get to the highway, to warn the others of what was happening.
I mean, I guess he makes it, because we started off with him in the jail, you know, explaining this story, so I'm guessing he makes it somewhere.
Listen, those people are coming after me. They're not human. Listen to me.
Yeah, it's not gonna go well. Everybody's gonna think he's crazy.
You're endangered, please.
He's trying to save them. Oh my gosh.
Now listen to me. There isn't a human being left in Santa Mira. Not one. Hey!
Everybody's like, get out of the road. Yeah, oh my gosh.
I need your help. Something terrible has happened. Come on, you drunk. Get out.
But he's like genuinely trying to help and nobody is listening. That'd be so frustrating. Yep, that's more seeds.
Already. You're next. You're next. You're next. You're next.
Just standing in the middle of the highway shouting. Yeah.
Sit there measuring me for a straight. I can do something. Get on the phone. Call for help. Oh, what's the use?
Or unless they've already become pod people, then he's like, well, now we know we need to turn you as well.
Well, I don't know what they are. I never saw them before. They look like great big seed pods.
Seed pods?
Oh, shoot. Yep, there we go. Now it's starting to make sense. Dun 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 dun. He's like, see, I'm telling the truth.
Get me the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yes, it's an emergency.
Oh my gosh, well, that's a different ending than the 78 version. At least it sounds like there's help going on the way and Miles made it out of there. So that was my first time watching the 1956 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I really enjoyed it. I obviously had an understanding of the plot since I had seen the 78 version, but you know, sometimes when you watch older movies, the pacing can be a bit different from what we're used to, but I thought this was so well done. The pacing was great. The acting was great. The soundtrack, you know, this really intense music just added this whole new level to it. You know, it was in black and white. That didn't bother me. Like, I would definitely watch this again. The only time I wish it had been in color is when we see, like, the pods. I think that would have looked cool, but maybe that would have affected how they created them. I don't know. But, yeah, just really well done, and I really like the 78 version, and I feel like this is slightly better, but again, I would definitely watch both any given day. They're so well done. I really enjoyed them, but yeah, just an amazing film. I can see why they wanted to remake it and try to, you know, bring color and a new, you know, fresh take on it, and I don't think there's a version after 78. Let me know in the comments. But I just really, really enjoyed it. It was so well done. I didn't recognize any of the cast, but I thought the performances were amazing. And, you know, we have this love story between Becky and Miles, and similar in the 78 version, you know, they have their friends that are kind of their last hope that, you know, we'll get out and you guys will get out, and that's obviously not the case. And now that I'm rethinking about the ending, I'm wondering if that body on the stretcher was in fact Miles, because where they're describing where they found him makes sense, because that's where Miles was last seen, you know, running out on the highway. You know, we see them go past this seed truck, so maybe he was actually hit by that, because that scene cuts right to Miles, you know, at this police station explaining everything that's happened. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that's what it was. We couldn't really see him. He just kind of went by quickly. It looked a little bit like Miles, but we didn't really get a good look. So let me know in the comments. That's kind of my theory now that I've had, you know, a few minutes to think about that shot. But because the 78 version ends with, you know, Donald Sutherland famously pointing and making, you know, this expression that all the other pod people were making, and the audience is like, oh my God, he is one of them. So I feel like in order for them to get inspiration for an ending like that, because it feels like a big departure without that had to have been Miles. And then it's like, okay, which one is the real one? When did this switch happen? So What I really love about, sci-fi and the sci-fi element of this film is that it just makes you guess everything and makes you not be able to trust. Like, is Miles even a reliable, narrator? Is he a character we can trust? He's our main character, so the audience, just wants to believe him and wants to trust him, but maybe he did fall asleep at some point. He's on his own. It would be hard to stay awake constantly. And just the fear of this mob mentality as the town literally is running after him. Police scanners are calling out his name, like they're sounding alarms, like they're coming after him because he's the only one left. He's, the outsider now. Everybody else, Becky falls asleep. She becomes a pod person and is like, come, like, it's great, like, join us, live forever. And just the concept that they have no feelings. I'm sure my review for the 78 version will say, something similar, but just really, really cool concept. And I really like it. The fact that they're not only replicas, but they're replicas that are supposed to be like a better version, and that not having emotions makes you better somehow. And, like, there's no pain, there's no fear, but then with that comes, no love, no joy, no, happiness. It's just blank. Like, they're not zombies per se, but they're definitely just there to blank stares, very stoic expression. Like, even when we had one character was happy on the outside, closed the door and came in, and just her expression dropped and she went back to just being, this version of herself basically. And the fact that they're physical exact replicas but with no blemishes, like, we had Jack got the cut on his hand, and then the copy gets a cut on their hand, and to look at something that looks exactly like you and have to kill it, like we saw Jack, take a pitchfork to his pod person in the greenhouse, and what your thoughts would be about that. And like, you clearly recognize this person, and even when he sees the version of Becky, like, to him that's somebody that he loves and cares about, like, that's a face he knows, and to have to try and kill them because it's not actually them. And then you could go with the argument of, do emotions make you human? And there's just so many things to pull apart here and so many things to discuss. And that's what I love about it, is just, it's a movie that sticks with you for days, and you can go at it from as many angles as you want, saying like, yeah, it would be better if people weren't afraid and had anxiety, and, yes, there's no love, but then there's no heartbreak also. So what's the trade-off? And, does that equate to being a human being, or is what emotions make you human? And they definitely, mentioned that these alien seeds came. He had mentioned some radiation on the phone, but later on they confirmed that it was these alien seeds who had fallen into this farmer's field, and that's, where we get this. And I was hoping they would show the pods. I wasn't sure if they would, because we were getting, later and further into the movie, and I was like, okay, maybe they won't, and I don't know what the budget for this would have been, so I was like, maybe they can't. But then we get that wonderful shot in the greenhouse with these pods, and just to see them like splitting open, and like the bubbles I wasn't really expecting, and it looked like the people were covered almost in like a glossy sheet, like there was something covering them, like a plastic sheen on them almost. And yeah, just like perfect, no blemishes, no nothing, and just come sliding out of these plants and fully formed. It's not like they, come out as babies and then grow up to be these people. They come out the fully formed adults, and yeah, the bubble slowly dissipating to reveal, the human underneath, I thought was really cool. And yeah, I'm so glad they showed those pods, because obviously it's a huge part of the story, and we didn't see the body being stabbed when Miles was attacking it, but I feel like it was safe to say that's what was happening. So that was off camera, but the Dutch angle shot when they go into the greenhouse, that tilted angle shows, okay, something is off, something is not right, and that's when they discover these pods. So I think that was one of my favorite scenes from the film, and just so cool. And like I said, I really love the concept behind the movie. I haven't read the source material, and I probably should. And this, concept of paranoia, who can you trust, and everybody's out to get you, and, the fact that they attack while you're asleep when you're most vulnerable and you can't protect yourself, but you're human, so you need to sleep, like you can't stay up forever. And we saw, that's what happened to Becky. She was trying her hardest, but just ultimately fell asleep. And I like that we started off, at this police station, and Miles is retelling, and then we have this flashback. So I was like, okay, I kind of know he's gonna make it out, but then again, maybe it was the real one on the gurney, or maybe that was his pod person on the gurney that got run over, that was trying to catch Miles. I don't know, but yeah, definitely something going on with that last shot. And I think they did a good job of not giving away everything. Like, if I hadn't seen the 78 version, then this would have been very interesting to discover and to see where it's going to go, because basically we just hear these imposters, everybody's making doctor's appointments and then canceling, and of course Miles and Becky just happened to be out of town when this started a couple weeks ago, so they hadn't been through that initial wave of people being taken over, and everybody's saying like, oh, I'm fine now. And yeah, just this imposter feeling we definitely get within the first 5-10 minutes of the film, and then we don't see the pods till almost like an hour in, I think. So, but still really great pacing. I thought they did a great job telling the story and adding suspense and mystery, and it is in black and white, and I love that they used the light and shadow and different light sources as you would need to add suspense in this black and white version. Like the scene where, Miles has the match and he's going through, or even when they're in the tunnel, obviously the light is outside, and as soon as he walks in, he's in shadow. And, when he turns on the light over the pool table to see, Jack's pod person, like everybody else is in the light and he's in the dark. And just those creative choices I think are really cool, and ones you don't necessarily notice as much with color films. And I like that black and white, gives you that creativity. Another scene that I really thought captured, just this fear of the town coming after you and not being able to trust anyone, is when they're watching from Miles's window, and they see literally the town just having a normal day, like nothing is out of the ordinary. And then they have that announcement at the town center being like, oh yeah, go get your pods here, like get your seeds here and take them to this town. And just the magnitude that this is going to continue to spread, and just that feeling of helplessness, because they're like, oh, this town and this town, like go take it to your family who lives over here, and your family members would have no idea to even suspect you. And again, to the everyday person, you seem normal. Like, even if somebody suspects something off about you, they're probably not going to slam the door in your face because they think you have an alien seed. They're going to let you in and, maybe ask you some questions and see what's going on. But just the expansiveness and how quickly this was growing. He's like, come back tomorrow. Like, this is their plan, is world domination. And that farm that Miles sees, near the end as well. I do remember a scene similar to that in the 78 version where he goes to this farm and they try and destroy it. Like, they try and take out as many of these seeds as they can. So I was like, okay, maybe he's going to do something like that. But obviously just takes off running. I could only imagine how terrifying this would have been to watch in the theaters in, 1956 when this came out, because it is a horror movie, but I think it's psychologically more horror. Like, there wasn't a ton of blood or guts or gore or anything like that. And, the sci-fi element, I think, is what makes it stick. And the fact that these bodies are literally, taking over the town and they look exactly like you. And again, similar to The Thing, it's like you suspect everybody. Who can you trust? And outwardly, nobody looks suspicious. Like, it's not like they're walking around, with 7 horns and, antennae or anything. Like, they look the same. They sound the same. It's just no emotion. And even when Miles, kisses Becky, he instantly is like, something's wrong, and then she gets that very subtle look in her eyes and he can tell that it's too late and she's become this pod person. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It was so well done, and I would watch this over and over again. So well done, and I love the concept, and great acting, great music, and I definitely want to learn more about the practical effects, how they made those plant pod things come to life with the bodies, and, what the budget was, if what they had to spend to create those, I think would be cool. And yeah, again, not a ton of blood or gore, but I think still psychologically really terrifying because it's the unknown. And then, when you go up to someone and start talking to them, are you going to be suspicious? Like, how are they acting? And I think the only benefit is that these pod people admitted it, basically. They're like, yeah, come join us. And when Miles goes to that house, full of people that he knows, he sees them, with the seed about to, do this to their kids, basically, and he instantly runs away. And the fact that you have no one to trust, you're completely on your own, and how do you, get out of here? And he's trying to warn people and running down the highway, screaming at the top of his lungs. Everybody thinks he's insane because they have no reason to believe him. It is acting, crazy, definitely acting out of character and saying like aliens are coming. Like, of course, nobody is going to take him seriously. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about that last scene. But my guess is that it was the other Miles on the stretcher who was hit by that truck. and that help is now on the way. Like, they're calling the FBI. I wasn't expecting that at all. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a different ending than the 78 version, but I really enjoyed it. It was great pacing, so well done. I do wish I had watched this before the 78 version. I think it would have been a little bit different of a reaction, but here we are, and yeah, still one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies that I've seen. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, how are you gonna prove it's not the real him? Why, is there a body on the pool table? Oh my god, yes, he's taking a pitchfork to his own body. 2 pods, one for each of them. Yeah, and they have no problems and no worries and no pain because they're not real. Pretend to be one of them to blend in and hope they don't know. Just staying in the middle of the highway shouting, yeah.